Hey, welcome to SonarQube tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about SonarQube, which is an open source platform for continuous inspection of your code, and this is used to perform with the static code analysis so that we can detect the various types of bugs present in the code and also code smells and security vulnerabilities present in the code. And this is the open source tool which is used for more than 20 programming languages. So in Java development, we are going to use SonarQube, especially in continuous integration and continuous delivery process. So in the scanning process, like we need to check our code before we give our code to production. So SonarQube offers also bug detection and detecting the code smells and detecting the security vulnerabilities. Along with it also provides a report generation for the duplicate code present in your code, and as well as report about your coding standards that you maintain in the code during development. And it can generate a code coverage report, and also like unit test related reports can be generated. So that is how SonarQube we are going to use for our static code analysis. So let's get started with starting with software, where you need to download SonarQube from here. You go to this site, Sonar Downloads, and then you take this free edition just for practice, and for community edition and enterprise editions are also available, but let's get started with this free edition. So you can download it, and once it is available, so you can start with your Sonar server. So here is depends on your platform you are working with. So let's get into Windows platform, and then where you need to start with your Sonar. So you just start this batch file so that it takes some time to start up your Sonar server. So default this SonarQube server starts at port number 9000. So let's wait for this Sonar to start, and now we need to start with an application where we have to perform with the code analysis for our application. So we have an application we just created with some classes, and where we have some code which is created with. You can also add any other number of lines of code you wanted to add, just you can add with in your application. So let's get added with some class. Try to make certain warnings to generate in this application, maybe unused objects you can make use. Make it uninitialized local variable, and let's say you are creating an object, and you are just making it null specification, and then you are just going to create with an object, let's say legacy object you are going to create. So try to add some code with not maintaining with the code conventions, and it may have certain code smells present in your code, and also this is the type of a code you are writing it. Now let us do some analysis on this part, and let's also have some copy paste code in our application. We just add some code, okay, we just add some method which is present in some other application. We just paste it over here so that we wanted to check whether copy paste detection is happening or not. So this is all we need to check in our code by using our SonarQube detection, SonarQube server detections. So now this is a simple code we have. So in order to uh, input this application for our SonarQube server for static code analysis, first of all we need to add the Sonar plugin for our application. So in your pom.xml you just need to add the, in addition to your Maven plugin, you need to add the Sonar plugin for your application. So the first plugin you need to add is your Sonar Maven plugin, and also for code coverage you need to add Jacoco plugin. So these two are the plugins you can add into your application. And then first we need to run with an application with the generating your jar file for your application using a Maven and also Jacoco plugin. So let's run our application with the Maven clean command to generate a jar file for our application. So let's go to run as Maven build, give clean install command with the Jacoco plugin. Clean your plugin name and then say install. So whenever you say this command, now this application is going to add your plugins, Jacoco plugin and Sonar plugin for your application, and it is going to build a jar file for your application, and the build should success, so that our jar file should be created into our target folder. So our build is success. So the next step we need to do is we need to run our application on Sonar. So by the time we check whether our server is up or not. So Sonar server is up. So I said the default port for your Sonar is 9000. Let's open the port number 9000 where our Sonar server should be up and running, and we will be entering into our Sonar dashboard. So this is the dashboard where we need to analyze our projects. So for example, so there is an application which is already analyzed, right? So here once it is analyzed, it will be showing you. Suppose if at all if you have another new application, if you wanted to add it, just you need to run your application, right click, run as. So actually in the previous version of your application where it is passed, the code is not yet added, right? Few additions we did. With that we need to check our analysis. So that is the reason we are going to run it again. So you just run your build by using your Sonar goal. So you give Sonar and then start running your application. So when the server is up and running, now you are going to build your Sonar application here. So it will deploy your jar file into your Sonar server for static analysis. So you can observe here, due to this Sonar goal you have added, now it look into your properties and it will check for the whole source code of your application. It will check for the process properties, project properties, and also it will check for the rules, code quality rules, and also coding conventions, and what kind of test cases you have written, what is the coverage of your test cases. All that properties it is going to scan through into your project first, and then it will deploy your project onto your Sonar server. So if everything goes well, if your analysis part is well, now you will get a message here, analysis is success, and you will be getting the URL for your project. So this is a URL for your application which is deployed just before. So now you can take this URL and also you can go with this URL so that directly it will open your application. So at the same time, even if you go for this default port and if you go for projects, also it will show you the project which is available. So here also you can check with the projects. Suppose if you go here projects, now you can see the project which is built with your SonarQube is displayed. So basically this SonarQube tool is providing us to detect the bugs present in the code and the vulnerabilities present, security vulnerabilities. If at all if you are using open source libraries which is not safe for your deployments, then if it is present it will show you that. And also the code smells, maybe at the surface level you are detecting some basic level code smells, but uh, it may be propagating some deep problems for your code. So that can be detected by using your code smells. And also we can look for test coverage percentage, if at all, if we have written any JUnit test cases for our application, so it will also show you the test coverage percentage here. So now if at all, if you wanted to look for what are all the issues present in your code, then you go for issues. So now it is going to display the issues present in your code. So let's say here you can see the line number 39 in your code. Okay, what is the issue present? So you might have used a dedicated exception to throw, okay, where you have not used it. And also there is unsupported operation, there is a local variable you have declared but which is not used. Okay, suppose those type of things you can observe here. So in which line you have declared it and where you have not used it. So that is how it will show you all the code smells present and the copy pasted code and any kind of mistakes you have done. It is a convention based, not like syntactical and compile time errors. So that kind of code analysis can be done with this SonarQube. So majorly you need to add the plugins here in your pom.xml, and you need to run with the command including with your Jacopo plugin, and you need to build your code by using Sonar Gold. So this is what you need to do with your application to detect it. So if you wanted to try with some different application, yes, always it can be done by this much of configuration. Add the plugin and add the goals, and then you build your application so that the analysis will be success and you will be getting the project code along with. If you are going to deploy with multiple applications, multiple projects present in your deployment, then you go for projects and you can look for number of projects here. And SonarQube also can be configured with adding your projects from GitHub or your GitLab accounts as well. That's all about SonarQube. Thank you.